All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming live from our Joburg office. Welcome to the trading room, the first one for this week. Today is the third month of the year, the 3rd of March. The time now is 3 minutes after 2. Welcome back, everyone. If you're joining us for the first time, we are doing this, or we do this every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. All right, so just subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment, and we will catch you on all the sessions that we do during the course of the week. All right, so before we get started, guys, remember, if you want to open up an account with us, we are at tdmarkets.com. Have a look at the types of accounts we have for you. All right, we've got different account types that you can take advantage of. All right, we also have some education. If you guys want some education, trading education, see how we do things, we do have the academy. All you need is an account and we will get you sorted. All right, and yeah, just to get that out of the way, welcome back, everyone. It's been a couple of, well, it's been a hectic weekend. All right, it's been a hectic weekend. You guys have seen, or you saw what's happening between the US and Iran. We're gonna just talk about that, and we're gonna see how the markets have been reacting. But I think this is the major talking point. All right, the conflict between the US as well as Iran. So we're gonna jump straight into it. But before we do that, we're waiting for the slow pokes to jump in. All right, we are waiting for the slow pokes to jump in. So just gonna give it a few more seconds, and then we're gonna start with this session. Right, I think let's get right into it. Remember, the information shared in this video is not advice. Please make note of that. Whatever we share with you guys is not advice. Right, on the chat right now, all the details are there. If you want to open an account, the website is there, and all the contact details are also there. Right, and if you're joining us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, and we will then see you again on Thursday. All right, so guys, let's jump straight into it. We are seeing a couple of things here. All right, we are seeing a stronger dollar, we are seeing a stronger CAD, we are seeing a weaker euro. All right, that is what we are seeing right now in the markets. We're seeing a strong dollar, a strong US dollar. At the same time, we're seeing a strong Canadian dollar as well as a weak euro. Now, what are the reasons, right, for this strength and weakness? Now, obviously, the strength comes from the conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran. You guys saw since Friday, the late hours of Friday, or the late trading hours of Friday, the US struck or launched an attack on Iran. All right, and then that just continued throughout the weekend, and the conflict is still ongoing even right now. I think today is the 4th day. All right, at the moment we are, or rather the conflict has entered its 4th day. All right, so that is why the dollar is strong. All right, we saw gold jumping up, but right now gold is a little bit weak. So maybe let's start with the dollar before we go to the euro. All right, so we want to buy the dollar now. We want to buy the dollar. We want to sell the other pairs and buy the dollar. But starting with gold, so gold has been bearish today. All right, gold has been bearish today, and obviously the strength of the dollar, we see it overtaking the safe haven at the moment. So if you look at gold right now, it has hit the supply area. It has hit the supply zone. It's on the 4-hour time frame. There we go. It has hit the supply zone, and then it has aggressively pushed towards the downside. All right, so I mean, the structure is still very much bullish, right? I don't think gold long term is gonna drop. This is just the strength of the dollar that is overtaking the safe haven at the moment, right? So that's why we're seeing a stronger, a weaker gold, a stronger dollar, a weaker gold. But we are still bullish on gold nonetheless. So all we're looking for at the moment is a higher low to form. So since price formed this higher high, right, obviously from the previous high, all we need is just a higher low and then a continuation towards the upside. It is setting up for a bullish opportunity. All right, there are people who've been selling gold today, right? Obviously they saw sell opportunities, they sold according to the structure, right? This is a bearish structure. So yeah, so we're just watching out for a continuation towards the upside. All right, we're looking for that higher low. Remember, this is the impulse leg towards the upside. So the market formed an impulse leg. Now price is correcting. If we take the Fibonacci, we'll notice that the market is actually bouncing from the 50 and the 61.8, right? This zone here. So anywhere around this zone, we are watching out for continuation back to those highs. Now remember guys, gold is a commodity. Gold thrives during geopolitical tension, right? It thrives. So we're just looking at a correction and a continuation towards the upside. That's basically it, right? The same goes with silver as well, all right? And then if you look at your dollar currency pairs, all right, the dollar is strong. Look at Euro USD. So Euro USD did not go up according to the previous analysis, right? So now we are changing our analysis. Now we are adjusting to the current price action and structure, and we are looking for shorts now, right, on Euro USD. So this is how it's looking. Very simple. There's a possibility we're gonna see Euro USD coming back down to 1.139990. All right, it's somewhere around here. There's a possibility we're gonna see Euro USD coming back down to the zone. All right, obviously the structure at the moment has changed. We are now within a descending structure. After that aggressive rejection there, we have gone into a descending structure, right? So there's a possibility we're gonna see Euro USD pushing back down to that. Obviously, if the war escalates, right? If the war, not the war, it's a conflict, right? If the conflict continues to escalate, then we're likely gonna see the dollar continue being strong against the euro. Remember, also due to the war, the euro is weak because of the war, and I'll explain why the euro is weak, all right? So the dollar is strong because of the conflict. I meant to say conflict, sorry. The dollar is strong because of the conflict, and the euro is weak because of the conflict. We're going to look at those reasons, right? So all we're waiting for now is just the market to correct. If you can get a correction, we're looking for one more push towards the downside, right? Euro USD, a correction and one more push towards the downside. And we need to be wary of previous lows like this, right? I mean, we cannot ignore this low. We need to be aware of that low. And if you look at USD JPY, right? USD JPY, it's going back to this price level here, right? 159.42, let's say 43, right? 159.43. That's where it's going to according to the structure. You will notice that the structure at the moment on the lower time frame is bullish, on the higher time frame is bullish. So we just want to follow this trend. We just want to follow this trend here, right? And for as long as the trend does the following, it forms these corrective patterns here. It forms these corrective patterns. The trend is going to continue towards the upside. So all we need now is the market to form another corrective pattern for the trend to continue trading towards the upside. You see that? So USD JPY, nothing has changed. We are still, this one is still in line with the analysis, the previous analysis, and we are looking for a continuation towards the upside. You also look at USD CAD, USD Swiss. USD Swiss has already gone up, right? USD Swiss, this is the move here. It has already gone up and it has gone back to the zone. I think we might have spoken about the zone previously, that there's a possible retest that could happen here, right? There's a possible retest. So that's where we are right now. So the initial setup on USD Swiss is complete. This would have been the initial setup right? At the start of the week. So this one is already complete. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys might have seen this and a push towards the upside. So if you saw a buy at the start of this week, you would have seen that this is a possible take profit area, right? This zone here is a profit take profit area. So your setup is now done. So what's next? I mean, at the moment we are on a resistance zone, right? And on a resistance zone, we are looking at two possibilities on this resistance zone. Two possibilities, right? Either price is gonna retest, bounce, and continue going down, or it's gonna break, retest, and push towards the upside. These are the two possibilities. That's it, right? A resistance does break. Sometimes price rejects the resistance. So we need to look at these two possibilities. All right, so the initial setup is done. So we're waiting for another setup now. We're waiting for that other setup there. And if you look at USD CAD, right? USD CAD, both the CAD and the dollar are strong at the same time, right? Both the CAD and the US dollar are strong at the same time. And maybe let's talk about the CAD, why the CAD is strong, right? Now, remember guys, if you look at the map, right, and then you look at where Iran is, where Israel is, and just the Middle East, you look at where Kuwait is, and so forth and so on, you will notice that there is a passage there, and that passage is called the Strait of Hormuz, right? Strait of Hormuz, right? I might be pronouncing the Hormuz wrong, but it's fine. Strait of Hormuz. Now, the Strait of Hormuz, this is where now it plays a huge role in the supply of oil, because there's the passage where ships pass, right, carrying oil and all of that. So it plays a major role in the supply of the oil. So now oil has gained value, right? Oil has gained value because there are disruptions with that, what is called Strait of Hormuz. There are disruptions. So this conflict is causing a disruption and a possible closure to that passage, which is called the Strait of Hormuz. That is a road where it's used to supply oil. Okay. Now we all know the correlation between oil and the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar is the major oil exporter, right? So now higher oil prices boosts the US dollar, and not the US dollar, the Canadian dollar, right? So higher oil prices boosts the Canadian dollar, and it's a support for the Canadian dollar, right? So now the reason why the US oil or the oil markets are going up is because of that. And now you look at the CAD. The CAD is also going up, is bullish because of the correlation between the Canadian dollar and oil. All right. So both the US dollar and oil are strong, are bullish at the same time. So if you look at USD CAD, right, we're in a bit of a range at the moment on USD CAD. In a bit of a range, we'll see between the dollar and the CAD which one will come out victorious. But at the moment, we're in a bit of a range. And effectively, what you're looking for, guys, you're looking for a currency pair where one currency is weaker and the other one is stronger, right? Not both weak at the same time or both strong at the same time, but one has to be weak and one has to be stronger. So USD CAD, I'm not going to do much on USD CAD at the moment, right? I think let's wait for it to play out. I would rather focus on Euro USD, right? USD JPY, USD Swiss, GBP USD, but USD CAD, we'll see. It might go up, it might go down. It might go up, it might go down. We'll just have to wait and see. All right. So just be aware of these developments. Okay. So just to conclude on the dollar, we have AUD USD, right, which is also going down. So there's a possibility AUD USD is going to come back down to 0.69693, right? So any continuation towards the downside, we anticipate it to go to 0.69693. And if it breaks that zone, we are then going to look at 0.69120. Right. So any continuations towards the downside, we're looking at these two targets. All right. And then you've got NZD USD, which also we are keeping an eye on this area, right? 0.58421. The reason for that is because, at the moment we are trading within the correction. So this structure has gone into a correction. This is the correction here, just like how this was the correction, right? So the reason I'm mentioning that zone is because there is confluence between that zone and the 61.8 of the Fibonacci, right? If you draw the Fibonacci, we can see that the 61.8 and that zone is kind of like on the same zone, basically on the same area. So there's a lot of confluence around here. We can also see structure on the left-hand side, right? So this retest, the retest of this area is very much possible, right? There's a huge possibility that price is gonna go back and retest this zone. You see that? So we're looking for this confluence now. We're looking for this confluence. So around 0.582-58421, that's where we're anticipating NZD USD to go. And we'll then look at the completion of this pattern now. We'll look at the completion of this pattern for any push towards the upside. All right. But for as long as the dollar continues to strengthen, our setup might fail. Our setup might fail and price might still continue doing this. So we'll just have to monitor this week in, week out, right? But for now, one more push back down to retest this zone. That's what we're looking for. And then we'll see once price gets there, we'll see what's going to happen. All right. You look at GBP USD as well, right? GBP USD, 1.31500. 1.31500. We could easily see this going back to 1.31500. All right. Wait, what did I do here? Okay, anyway, 0.31500. 500. There we go, right? We can easily see what's happening here. The structure has changed. So price failed to go towards the upside. All right. So now seems like we are going down. So any continuation here, we're likely going to see price doing this. All right. So all we need is a retest. This is the daily candle. The daily candle. So we need the daily candle to close, break and close below, and any retest of this area here. We're looking for a continuation back down. We're looking for a continuation back down. So we are looking at the dollar strength at the moment. Dollar strength. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. We're looking at dollar strength at the moment. So we're gonna follow this. Just keep an eye on the conflict between the US and Iran. Right. This is what's causing this volatility. Keep a close eye on that, and we're gonna come back and see how things are unfolding. All right. Now, the euro, right? The euro is also reacting from this, all right? And the reason why the euro is reacting from this is because of possible energy concerns, right? Energy concerns. That is why, right? So the Eurozone has been hit. The escalation of this conflict has hit the Eurozone because the Eurozone is heavily reliant on energy imports, right? Energy imports. So there is energy concerns. That's why the euro is taking a knock. Okay. So now if you take a look at the euro, Euro USD, I think this is going to be a great pair to trade. The euro is weak, the dollar is strong. This is what you're looking for. The euro is weak, the dollar is strong, right? And then Euro CAD, the CAD is strong, the euro is weak. You see that? That's why we're seeing Euro CAD falling so aggressively, right? I mean, since the start of the week, Euro CAD has fell over 1.2% towards the downside. All right. So maybe starting with EuroCAD. EuroCAD, we're seeing possible downside on EuroCAD. It has broken the structure. So we're seeing EuroCAD continue pushing towards the downside. All right. Our near-term target is 1.5725. That's our near-term target, right? It could potentially go lower than that, but that's our near-term target. So all we're looking for is some setups towards the downside. I mean, you see how aggressively it's falling. At some point, it's gonna pull back. Before we continue going down. So you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you are in a heavy drawdown before price resumes. So I would wait for a correction and a continuation towards the downside. So EuroCAD, top of the watch list. All right. And if you take a look at other euro pairs, we're looking at the same direction, right? You look at Euro Yen. Now Euro Yen, let me go to the 4-hour chart. There we go. Okay, so Euro Yen, changing the analysis slightly on this one. We are trading within this bearish structure at the moment, and we can see Euro Yen coming back down to this low. All right. We can see Euro Yen going back down. Remember, the euro is weak due to that the conflict. So we are looking for a continuation down. So since price broke out of this counter trend line, just like what happened here as well, right? Price broke out of the counter trend line and then we went all the way down. So we're looking for the same thing now, pushing all the way down. So if we can get just a retest or a continuation, looking for this push towards the downside, right? So yeah, so we're looking at a bearish Euro Yen. Euro Pound could also do the same thing. Let me do this. So if you take a look at Euro Pound, it is rejecting this zone here, right? It is rejecting this zone. Look at how aggressively it went back down. It is rejecting this zone. So now we could also see the same thing happen with Euro Pound, where it goes also towards the downside. Even though this is not really what I'm looking at the moment, but a break below this support trend line, we could easily see Euro Pound continue pushing towards the downside. You see how it is. As long as it doesn't break above this area, or rather, let me do this. As long as it doesn't break above this area here, we are looking at price pushing towards the downside. That's a very strong area, this one here. All right. So we're looking for more downside on that one. Euro odd. I mean, the euro is bearish, guys. I think Euro odd, the same thing, right? The same thing. It is correcting at the moment. Nothing much on the higher time frames, just the lower time frames at the moment. All right. So there was a correction earlier on. So looking at Euro odd, before price drops, right, there's a possibility this can come back and retest, meaning we could get a drop from the zone. So whatever happens here, we could get a drop from the zone, right? At the same time, this can also drop from where it is. It can also do this from where it is. So if it goes up one more time, this is a very important area there, right? We could possibly get a drop from there or from where price is. It's just a matter of finding your setups, right? Waiting for your setups, letting your setups form, and obviously identifying trade opportunities. Euro NZD, the same thing, right? Even though Euro NZD is a bit of a mess, with Euro NZD, we are looking at this formation, right, before price drops. If you start from the higher time frame, you'll notice that after that aggressive drop, the market has gone in some sort of a consolidation here, right, after this bearish drop. So now this consolidation is actually forming a corrective pattern, and it's similar to this here. This was a corrective pattern, just like this. All right. So now with this corrective pattern, the behavior of this pattern is that before price drops, a new high usually forms before price drops. All right. So now I wouldn't be surprised to see this first going up, creating that new high before it drops, and ultimately giving us a pattern like this, just like the first one. You see that? Something like this, right? I would prefer for this to start going down from these highs for a good risk and reward ratio, right? That will be the plan, right? I'm not sure if it's gonna retest the resistance trend line. I'm not sure if this is gonna happen, but yeah, maybe one more push up before this continuation down. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess at the moment, right? So anything can happen, but from that top, one more push down. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. All right, so the euro, that's how it's looking, guys, right? That's how it's looking. We're looking at a stronger dollar, a stronger CAD, a weaker euro. A quick summary of what's happening right now. Before I get ahead of myself, right, let me see. What is it that you guys want us to analyze? I think I've gone through just a few pairs, but from your guys' end, what are you watching? What is it that you want us to analyze? We started with gold. We're still looking for gold to push up, right? I think gold, there's going to be a good opportunity for one more push towards the upside on gold. It is rejecting at the moment. You see that? It fell aggressively. It is rejecting. So we are looking for a higher low and a continuation towards the upside. So there's going to be some good opportunity there. Let me see. There is going to be some good opportunity. Yeah, I'm going to look for an opportunity on gold. Yeah, definitely. So from your guys' end, what is it that you guys want us to analyze, to look at? Let's see. Standing by. Don't forget the NFP on Friday. All right. Don't forget, this is the NFP week. We also have the core retail sales due. Oh, okay. The retail sales, core retail sales. So this NFP, this data is going to be, it might be messy, right? It might be messy because we have the retail sales, core retail sales as well, right? Alongside the NFP, unemployment rate, the growth earnings. So yeah, so it might be a bit of a mess, but let's see what's going to happen. We are going to go live at 2 p.m. On Friday. So do keep a close eye on that. All right. So let's continue now. Let's have a look at the AUD. Nothing much on the AUD NZD. The AUD JPY, nothing much is happening there. Right. The AUD JPY, nothing much is happening. GBP JPY. Let's have a look at GBP JPY. Yeah. So GBP JPY. This is what's happening at the moment, right? So there are two possible directions we can get here. So you see the price is squeezing. What we're seeing here is a squeeze, right? So with a contracting structure like this, there are these two possible movements. A break towards the upside, we're going to get this. A break towards the downside, we're going to get this. This is what's happening right now. The market is creating this contracting structure. So we could go up or we could go down. We just need a break to see where the break will go. It is similar to what Nasdaq did, right? Nasdaq also, before Nasdaq broke towards the upside, it was creating a formation like this, and it broke towards the upside, right? So yeah, so GBP JPY, this is what's happening at the moment. And if you take a look at the oil market is bullish. The oil market is extremely bullish, right? So that 100 mark on oil, on US oil, right? That $100 per barrel on US oil, this is a target we can look at, right? A lot of analysts are predicting that we could reach $100 per barrel on oil. So oil at the moment is bullish. So we first need to break out of this zone here. We first need to break out of this. That's where the market is at the moment. So we break out of this, we look for a continuation towards the upside, just like that. And what you'd want to do is to keep an eye on the previous highs, like this high, right? So if price breaks, it gives us a continuation. We are possibly going back to that high. If it breaks that high, we are going back to that high. So these previous highs, right, you must not ignore them. You must not ignore them. Yeah, so the oil market is bullish. Both UK oil, US oil, they are bullish. So US oil, 87 $87 per barrel and $93 per barrel before we go to 100. Yeah, just like that. So remember, this conflict is causing the oil price to go up. It's causing the oil price to go up. German 30 is up next. Let's see what's happening with German 30. I remember we spoke about it the last time. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, you see now what the conflict is doing now, right? The euro is taking a knock. Look at what's happening at the moment. So German 30 also is taking a knock. All right. So the structure is still bullish. So how I would analyze this is what I would do. Let me look at the weekly first. The weekly time frame. All right, nothing much on the weekly time frame. Okay, cool. So this is how we're looking on the German 30. All right, we broke the structure. We have this structure down here. So now there is a demand zone here. And it seems like the market is attracted to that demand zone. There's a demand zone right here. Right? It is on the daily time frame. So the market broke below the structure, failed to go up, broke below the structure. We also broke below the structure. So at the moment, it seems like the market is going back to this demand zone. To this demand zone right there. Let me do this. Right, we're going back to the demand zone. So I would anticipate German 30 short term to still continue going down back to this demand zone here. And then from that demand zone, because the long-term price action is bullish, from that demand zone, then we're gonna be looking for a continuation towards the upside from the demand zone. So short term, we could still continue going back down, but anywhere from this zone, we're looking for a push towards the upside and continue the overall move, right? If it breaks the demand zone, right? If for some reason it goes down, it breaks the demand zone, then it's going to come back down to break this low as well. Break this low, and then we're going to look for a higher low before we go up. You see that? So these are the possibilities here. Either we're going to start going up from the demand zone, or the market is going to break this area. The market is going to break this area first before we push towards the upside. Or the market is going to break this area before we push towards the upside. So something like this. Yeah, something like this. So let's see what's going to happen. But German 30, that's how it's looking today. Let me see. Up next, we've got Dogecoin. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. It's still bearish. The altcoins are still bearish. All right, the altcoins are still bearish. So this is how Dogecoin is looking at the moment. Let me do this. Right. So the altcoins are still bearish, right? You will notice with Dogecoin, the current price action, I think there's a continuation now of the trend, right? So price first went and tapped this zone. It tapped this zone here, and then it has been dropping ever since. So the market is creating lower lows and lower highs. Now this is the lower low that price formed, before it went into a correction, right? So now, since there is a lower high here, since there's a lower high, whatever happens here, Dogecoin is most likely going to come back down to this low. All right, it's just the continuation of the structure. Just the continuation of the structure, right? So the situation here is as follows. You see this resistance trend line. There's a possibility price might give us a third touch before it goes down, right? It's a possibility. It might not happen, or price will just continue pushing down from where it is there. So yeah, so the altcoins are still bearish. Dogecoin is still bearish. We could get one more touch of this before we go down. So we need to look out for that possibility. Watch out for that possibility. All right. Your Cardano, your Solana, all of them are bearish. Right. So there we go. 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 GBP, JPY, Euro USD. Please rewind. We looked at Euro USD, right? So please rewind. In fact, Euro USD, yeah, Euro USD, we are bearish, right? We're looking for a continuation down on Euro USD, right? So yeah, so the dollar is strong at the moment as a result of the conflict. So we're looking for one more push towards the downside. So pound CAD, we could also see pound CAD dropping, right? But now this one, pound CAD, it has already broken this low, right? It's already broken this low. So this was the initial setup going back down to break this low. So where pound CAD is at the moment, right? It can either go down or give us this move before it goes down, right? So it has already broken this low. From this lower high, price went down to this low. So we don't have a decent opportunity setup on GBP CAD at the moment, right? So we have to see what's going to happen. We don't have a decent setup at the moment. You also look at GBP Swiss. All right, GBP Swiss, the setup we spoke about the last time was this one. Go all the way down back to this low. So that's what we spoke about the last time. So this one is done, right? That move is done. If you're holding sells there, that move is done. So where it is at the moment, right, we could see price breaking out, doing this, or still continue trading within this channel. So this is the previous resistance, of course, right? Now there are two possibilities on what could happen there. But since price is trading within this channel, a break towards the upside will likely give us a move like this, a break towards the upside. So we just have to keep a close eye and see what's going to happen there, right? From this low, a break towards the upside, we're likely going to get that push up, right? So yeah, so pound CAD, let's see what's going to happen. But pound yen, we've already spoken about this. GBP USD also looking for one more push down, right? Now it's important that you understand this, guys, right? Because this conflict is ongoing, right? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Things might still change, right? So be aware of that. Things might still change, all right, because of this conflict. So be aware of that. GBP NZD, it's just sideways at the moment. GBP NZD sideways at the moment. If you go to your lower time frames, definitely there is going to be opportunities there, but it's a bit of a mess at the moment, It's a bit sideways. All right. So it could do this or do this. You see that? This is what it's doing, right? It could either do this or do this. So it's not really it's not really a proper one as well. Yeah. So if you go to the bigger time frame, so the direction is still bearish on this one. All right. It's still bearish on this one. So any continuation towards the downside, this is what we are looking out for, right? Any push towards the downside is most likely going to give us the continuation of the current trend towards the downside, right? So let's see what's going to happen there, but we're keeping an eye out for a push towards the downside. This will be the same with GBP AUD as well, right? GBP AUD as well. It is aggressively going down. All right. So do keep an eye on that. So yeah, guys, right? So just be aware, anything can change, right? Because of this war. So keep an eye out on the news, on the fundamentals, and any changes. We're going to discuss those changes on the next trading room. All right. But with what we see right now, the dollar is strong. The CAD is strong. The Canadian dollar is strong. The euro is weak. All right. The euro is weak. So things like USD JPY, we are bullish. USD CAD, because the dollar and the CAD are strong at the same time, USD CAD can either go up or go down, but USD Swiss is still strong, right? So yeah, so this is how things are looking, guys, right? Interesting times. There's some great opportunities and setups for you guys to keep an eye on. And let's see on Thursday. Let's see if there are going to be any changes on Thursday. All right. I believe we went through all the pairs that were on the chat. Brent crude, the oil market, GBP, JPY. I forgot NASDAQ and US 30. All right. I didn't see NASDAQ and US 30. Let's go back to it. I have it open here. Let's see. Yeah, so those ones, they also didn't go up the last time, right? So at the moment they are bearish. So if you look at NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ can easily come back down to this low here before it goes up. So it broke towards the upside but didn't go all the way up after that. So right now it is breaking towards the downside. So we're keeping an eye out for one more push back to this low, right? We could easily see NASDAQ coming back to this low before any push towards the upside, because it is still bullish. It is still bullish, right? So we could get one more push back to this low before we get that continuation up. And then US 30 as well, right? So US 30 is correcting at the moment, right? It's in a correction now, US 30. So at some point it is going to create a higher low and a continuation up there, right? So we just have to, look at the developments of the conflict, right, to see how things are looking, how things are going, and then we're going to have a look at how the charts are reacting. But US 30 at the moment is in a correction. We could get one more drop on US 30, right? We could get one more drop, but I'm just looking for a continuation up, right? So once this correction is done, a continuation towards the upside. All right, so that is NASDAQ and US 30. US 30. There. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, right, this is how things are looking on a Tuesday afternoon. We still have a couple of more days to go before the week ends. A couple of more opportunities to look at. Friday, there's NFP. And also we have the GDP, not the GDP, but the ADP. On Wednesday, we've got the ADP. We've got the ADP, on Wednesday tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that report. But yeah, we are preparing for the NFP. All right. So on that note, guys, I think let's end it here for today. Keep an eye on these setups and we'll continue on Thursday. All right. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Stay warm in this rainy weather. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Cheers.